Okay, well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is a little bit impromptu, but just for fun, and because why not, we've got Davidy against Gutsytoe in a 1v1 mid. I'm not entirely sure what the history is, or why this had to happen, or why it's so crucial, but yeah, 1v1 mid, and it's Davidy, which is unusual. And I'm joined by Shadowman. How you doing, man? Nope, he hadn't connected yet. There he is. Alright, and let's see what the heroes are. Okay, well, we've got Techies being praised by Gutsy. That was a little bit out of left field. And Davidy's gone with his traditional Viper. And that is just immediately enough to make it interesting. Oh, the spamming. So Davidy, a little bit of backstory here. Davidy hates Techies. He said that as soon as it came out, he immediately said, I am never going to play Orpig again as soon as that is actually released into the main game client. So yeah, he's not going to be having fun with this. He's not going to be having fun. And I'm just quickly going to make sure that annoying beeping noise doesn't happen every time I get a message. Player sound, no. There we go, and back to the game. Okay, so I also don't know very much about Techies. I know that their right click is absolutely atrocious. Yeah, okay, 30, that's awful. But obviously they're Techies, they place landmines. There are... Alright, let's have a look. Invisible mine that explodes when an enemy nears. So a proximity mine. Already getting those set up, I can see. Gone for the mana regen to make sure he can spam these abilities. Stasis trap, so another proximity mine, this time stunning. Suicide squad, attack. That's the infamous suicide, the signature move of the Techies. And then his ult is a remotely detonated mine. One sec, you can't hear me. Just obviously having a little bit of a weirdness here. Open mic is on, mute code broadcasters is off. Very strange. He so does not want to do this. Alright, let me see if I can rustle off a bit of a crowd. This is the most ridiculous. Davidy has been whining about Techies for like so long. Gutsy, you sneaky. Sneaky bastard. So, an array of proximity mines, suicide, and a remotely detonated bomb. Now, the one other thing though is Techie stats are terrible, awful health, not very good mana, although very mana reliant. Picked up a Sage's Master to help counter that. And Viper just loves squishy heroes. How much damage does this do at level 1? Jeez. Full damage radius 200. So if we go straight over it, 500, that could do a significant amount of damage, but none of it's going to be enough to just straight up kill Viper. But then again, you know, other than the infamous All-Stars match, TI4, I've not seen very much Techies. So this is going to be interesting. Okay, and it looks like we're getting back in. How many mines is he actually going to be able to place before the game begins? That's what I'm wondering. And it's going to leave him with no mana. Davidy's hopefully going to spot that immediately. Are these visible? I think they are. Not entirely sure why that one detonated. Something I'm not getting about this, obviously. I can't hear you, Shadowman, no. And I don't know why, because my mute co-broadcasters is definitely ticked the right way. Davidy backing up, just securing some last hits. Gutsy, bottling his clarity. So he's going to need those 3. I'm just wondering if he's going to be able to keep up any kind of realistic harass against this Viper. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know my techies. I don't know my techies. Stasis Trap, I think, is going to be very, very useful. That's additional damage. No additional damage? No additional damage, but a very powerful stun. And 3 seconds at level 1. I think that would make it one of the most powerful ones in the game at level 1. And 6 seconds at level 5. That is at level 4. Sorry, that is absolutely huge. I keep thinking, and maybe this is just me as another Viper player, sympathizing and thinking that it'll all be fine. That there's not much Davidy can really do here. Getting a Sentry Ward very cleverly, able to spot out the mine, dealt with that without taking any damage. And I mean, Gutsy's not getting any farm here. He's still 0 for 0, partly as a result, I guess, of the fact that his last hit sucks, as I may have mentioned before, and only goes up by 2 every level. But he's now going to have to buy Sentry to win a dewarding battle, which is going to be very, very difficult. All of these are going to be spotted out before they're relevant. Certainly, if Davidy pushes up this far, gets stunned by that, hit by the tower a few times. But I just don't see it happening. The only reason this game might take a while is because Techies is going to have to play incredibly carefully, right back behind the tower all the time. I think this is kind of just within XP leeching range. Let's have a quick look when this creep dies. Yeah, he's within XP range, but the minute he gets close, Davidy is just going to destroy them. And of course, Techie's not really suited to 1v1 because the whole idea of the suicide is that, you know, well, if you do enough damage to the carry or the whole of the enemy team, that your other teammates can take advantage of it and make it a 5-for-1 trade or something like that, then it's worth it. But I really can't see the point of ever suiciding in a 1v1 game. Maybe I'm missing something crucial here. Maybe if the other person was carrying a rapier, and then you could buy back and rush out to lane and grab it, something along those lines. I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't see the benefit of suicide in a 1v1 mid situation. Gutsy used up all his clarity. He's now last one just expiring. He has picked up a point in suicide, so that's a thing. Would it be enough to kill Davidy? No, not even if it was doing full damage, and the damage is composite damage. Interesting. Just running that through my brain. So no, that would corrosive skin would still reduce the damage from that. And in fact, that's probably what Davidy should be thinking. What are the damage types here? Composite, that's a stun, and then magical. He should probably be getting some points in corrosive skin here, because I'm fairly certain, maybe someone in the Twitch chat can correct me if I'm wrong. Whoops. But I'm fairly certain that composite damage is reduced by magic resistance. Who knows? Not me. Techie's level 4, Viper hitting level 5. Let's have a quick look at the last hits. 0 for 0 up against 24 for 14. You know, the good thing about this is maybe Davidy won't just flat out refuse to even consider playing in all pick once Techies comes out. Maybe this will open his mind a little bit to the beauty and the glory that can be Techies. Not holding out any hopes, have to admit, but it's a vague possibility. We just saw, I think it might have been the first right click of the game coming out from Techies. They're now on a respectable, 41 damage. How did they get 41 damage? Oh, it is. It's a fairly good int gain, I guess. And what's the range on the it's just ridiculous. 0. Oh, madness. Utter madness. I remember the basic kind of hero block that this is built off back from the old Warcraft and Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3 days. I think it was Warcraft 2 that the kind of goblin sappers were first introduced. And yeah, just always ridiculous. Always explosive. Always suicidal. Illusion Rune been sitting bot now for at least a minute and a half. Bit of a tut-tut to both teams. Davidy is going to be popping down his second Sentry Ward in a second. I would kind of hope, just for the benefit of all the viewers watching at home, that he tries to spice this up a little bit now. I appreciate, you know, you're running into, okay, literally in this case, a minefield. But, you know, we want to see some action, and you can't really blame Gutsy for not wanting to go look for it. You really can't. Finished off a Soul Ring now. So, Soul Ring is an absolutely amazing, amazing item on heroes that are very, very reliant on mana. And generally, you want heroes that can also have some kind of health regen built in. And Techies doesn't have any of that health regen. I get the reliant on mana part. I do. And it probably is a core item because you are really, really reliant on mana. But this, especially against a Viper, anything that lowers your health is dangerous because Viper will be doing more damage whenever Gutsytoe lowers his health by using the Soul Ring. Pops down. I'm sorry, what's giving the true sight here? Oh, that's a Sentry Ward. Davidy deciding that it's action time, or not, possibly. Come on, man! Come on! Vipers everywhere are looking at you and saying, "Come on!" We do have what I assume is the remote mine. There it is. Boom. Davidy taking a little bit of damage there. Not a huge amount to write home about. He does, of course, have all 4 tangos. Got 1,000 gold in the bank as well after getting brown boots and Kira. I'm not entirely sure what his next item plan is. He could be going for mech, but I doubt it really. If it's doing 1v1, much more sensible to just get kind of personal health regen or max health points. But 1,000 gold, that's a fair amount. I'm not sure if he just doesn't know what to do with it. If he, you know what? He's probably going Mjolnir. That's just something he likes. So he's probably saving up for a Mithril Hammer, and I'm not advocating that for all the kids watching at home. I'm just saying that's probably what he's doing. And oh, I just noticed in the Twitch chat as well, many thanks to True God there for noticing, or for pointing out as well that you can confirm composite damage is reduced by magic resistance. And so the magic resistance buff on corrosive skin probably should be something Davidy is going straight for. He is using his courier, I want to say cleverly to scout out the rune. It's a bit unfortunate that he sent it top because this illusion rune has now literally been sitting here for almost 4 minutes and it's crying and it's lonely, which is a little bit sad. Let's see how the last hit's going. Well, you know, Gutsy is doing infinitely better than he was doing 5 minutes ago when we last asked this question. Taking a lot of harass here as he builds up this little wall of remotely detonated things. I think the plan there, of course. Oh, and Gutsy getting first blood with a pinpoint detonation of all 3 of his ult bombs and the one at the side. That was absolutely hilarious. That was the perfect first blood. I think Davidy was about 5 frames away from finishing the cast animation for Nether Strike, and that is just appalling. That is hilarious. I was fairly sure he'd get that, as I said, not too familiar with techies, but that was just. Oh, that was so funny. Okay, sorry, just let's have a look at Davidy's items, see if he spent any of that gold, and he has, and he's gone straight for a plate mail, which I don't actually mind, given that this damage is, as mentioned before, composite. That's the next question for you, True, if you're still watching. You know, is it also reduced by armor? I again would have a feeling that it would be, but I could be totally wrong. And given that he will be getting the passive magic resistance buff from corrosive skin, he certainly might want to focus on getting armor or something like that. But he hasn't got any points in corrosive skin yet, so I agree with the item choice, but it brings me back to this total lack of corrosive skin points there. I mean, the damage on level 1 remote mines Jesus. 300, 900, and I think he was hit by one of these as well. How much is that doing at this level? I think it was outside the full radius, so that's 300, 1200. Davidy's sitting on. It is pretty huge. Davidy's sitting on 800, so that would have gone down to 900. Add on to that a few stacks of process skin, and he would have survived that giant explosion. I'm almost certain. So you know, can't blame him too much. Not familiar with the hero. I know he not only hasn't played much against it, he's been avoiding it like the plague. Gutsy here, getting a nice sentry wall placement up, and he's going to be able to easily take this one out. If I were him, I'd probably have edged it up even a little bit further. But that's okay. Illusion Rune update. 6.5 minutes. Tears falling as the Illusion Rune begins to cry. Davidy, uncaring, continues to farm mid. Techies getting kills somehow. Can I have a quick look at how that affected the net worth chart? I mean, it wasn't a full catch up, but of course, this is mid only. I'm not entirely sure what rules they want to play it to here, whether it's best of 2, best of 5, best of whatever. Wait, suicide? No, there was kill. Wait, no, it's not 1v1, techies only. Obviously, Viper didn't suicide grumble. Concentrate. I do wish Davidy would just bloody buy something though. This is getting a little bit annoying. He can get kills. He waited until the exact inopportune moment last time to go in for that last one. It was just as Gutsy had set up a plot of 3 bombs. I think if Davidy had been aggressive before that, particularly before Gutsy had got his ult, that could have been huge. Easy kills. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Gutsy will challenge me next and he'll watch me failing. But this is my hint. Illusion Rune, with tears of joy, gets picked up at the 12-minute mark, 8 minutes after it was spawned. Unfortunately, Haste Rune immediately spawning afterwards, not noticed by the picker upper, which was Davidy. Sending one illusion around here, which I like, just to kind of scout out, maybe trigger some stuff, nothing being triggered. Illusion gonna see if it can get some farm for itself before it dies. Maybe have a bit of a party, a bit of a send-off. Still got 45 seconds, so it should really concentrate on enjoying life, I think. 91 health as well. Gutsy going to look for the room, but as noted before, it's spawned bottom, so he's just going to be kind of sad, really. Arcane boots up as well. I completely agree, Shadow. Viper doesn't need runes, but he can do horrific things with them. Horrific things. And it was just really lonely. 8 minutes. Like, a shudder to think how long that Haste Rune is going to have to sit there, just wishing it had friends. Obviously getting some weird lag, either that or this courier is just not animated properly, because that looks... No, maybe it's just weird. Eyebottle throw, Crow for Arteezy, Davidy's famous courier, and Badger, the other Badger, one of my favourite couriers. I love Badgers. So net worth still strongly in favour of Davidy, XP per minute, actually going in favour of Techies. I guess that... Oh, that kill. What to say about it? I guess that did just straight up secure him the XP lead. He's now got level 2 remote mines. He's got his arcane boots up, and he just doesn't seem to need much more farm than that. He's just going to set traps. It's a 1v1 environment. I question the point in suicide. I question it. Although I suppose if Davidy had been about to get a kill, it would have been a deny, not a... Okay, I completely appreciate it for that. And after only 2 minutes the Haste Rune is picked up, Davidy not going back to check whether or not the 40-minute rune had spawned in the same place, heading straight to mid. He's got a Haste Rune, he's confident, he thinks he can do it, ladies and gentlemen. He wants it. There's the Q. There's the Q. He's got the sentries, he just needs to... Oh no, he doesn't. He's got a gem? Well then kill the bastard, you know there are no... We're getting some lag, folks. Davidy is possibly experiencing the same lag. He mentioned something about that earlier. Oh, and this is going to be... Gutsy, did you not... What? You didn't check the rune, bro. You didn't check... You moved towards the rune, but you didn't... Okay, so now both players are going to assume that there's no rune there, and that rune is going to have the longest weight of them all. VIPER picking up a nice little bit of catapult CS there, and because of his gem, which I think was a nice pickup at this stage of the game, he can now completely see that this area is totally clear. He can go for towers if he wants. Gutsy, anticipating this, is obviously trying to set up all his bombs over here in the trees so that he can hopefully lure VIPER into something, which of course Davidy wouldn't fall for. And maybe save his tower. Davidy backing way the hell up though. I'm not sure if I'm being laughed at. Oh no, I'm not that funny. Something else is being laughed at in the background. Is Blink Techie's comment? I'm assuming I think so. He said with really no knowledge. But I would imagine that kind of utility is better for team games. Just a hunch. Just a hunch. I can see 4-star techies forcing them into your minds. Combat damage is reduced by armor and damage block, but it really isn't worth buying it in this situation. Mech will be one of the better items if you can get it here. It really isn't worth buying the plate mail. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the plate mail is building to. He's now picked up a cloak, which I don't understand at all. Just level your damn corrosive skin. But I'm not sure what the plan was for the plate mail. Was it an AC? Did he just feel he needed the armor? Because if you just need a quick bit of armor, you can pick up a chainmail or something, and he could have built that into a mech, as Drew suggested. But I'm also equally sure that he did have a plan. Gutsy just doing his best to lure him into this sort of pit of death that they've got going on down here. Davidy getting harassed off by a quick toss of the ult there. My God, this match! Somebody throw a bloody pie, seriously. My gosh, such ridiculous, much wow. Gutsy just hanging out at mid. Davidy just farming at mid, as it has been for the last 17 minutes. I really think with this gem, Davidy can. The whole story of this game for me is going to be Davidy could have been more aggressive, and I think he would have benefited from it. I think. I guess it makes sense to me if this is what techies are supposed to do at mid: lay up bombs, try and set up traps, and if that isn't going to happen, then just steer the hell out of the way of any real teamfight hero. Which makes complete sense. But I can only see the only way I can see Davidy like decisively having won this game is if he'd kind of gone in the early stages, or whenever he's got security, like with this gem, and actually trying to get some damage in. I concede it's getting completely harder, but if he's hoping to win just by tower push, well, that's not the VIPER we all know and love. Looks like he's probably building into a cloak, and then I can only assume from there into a pipe of insight. Not the item choice I'd go for. I think partly because I think he wants max health to deal with the immense nuke coming out of these techies rather than health regen, and partly because I think he wants to go damage items or pushing items or something. But he just seems to be really afraid of the damage that can be done to him, and it's respectable damage. But keep an eye on the mana, pick up a Shadow Blade. He's already picked up a gem, which I think was a wise choice and given him a lot more options. Gutsy being really aggressive here, getting wards right under the tower. Are they perma-invis or something? Yeah, it's not the techies update. I'm just... I think this was just a lobby set up by Gutsytoe and was modded, and he tricked Davidy, possibly because he heard how much Davidy hates the idea of playing against techies, and he thought this would be hilarious, and he was right, because it is hilarious. I'm afraid I didn't catch the time of this DD rune. I think it was probably 16 minutes, which makes it 9 minutes that it's been down there crying. Davidy finally getting his ult off, and suicide from the techies there. Oh, Davidy, what are you to do? Like, wow, what does he need? If the only problem he's having with getting kills is that suicide can be activated just before he gets to kill, then even a silence could do it. and actually overtaking now on the XP per minute chart for I think the first time in the game since that infamous first blood. But I'm also not sure of the rules on. Yeah, it is right. I'm also not sure on the rules on this in terms of kills. Oh, there it is. I was going to say whether or not a suicide or not would count as a kill. But there we have it. Tier 1 tower. Game over. GG to Davidy. I think the moral victory and in fact the coolness victory and all the coolness points have to go to Gutsytoe for that epic first blood. Yeah, Davidy, you won technically, and you know, well done. But that was the most awesome part about that match. Sorry. Anybody tuning in on stream, please do feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, please follow. And there'll be more little tidbits like this coming up later. Ciao.